Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him, and I am joined by some very special people and some very special players. Please help me welcome Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello! Everybody's cheering. Yay! Thank you. I'm Jamie Bonés. I play Lorna, or Lorna, the modified medical droid / mercenary.
Switching it up.
Yep. We're making some career moves.
Jamie, you're back. You've been back in Fallout, but what's it like stepping back into the old droid body again? How's that feel? It's been a minute.
I missed Elo, I'm not gonna lie. I really like playing Elo. I love playing in our Star Wars game. I love the Fallout game too, but there's something about Star Wars. There's just something. I can't quite place my finger, but there's just something about it.
Well, there's something about our other player here as well. Please help me welcome Alex Herrera.
Hello, I'm Alex. I play Beegax Botano, the dog slicer. He, him. It's good to be back in the old Sebulba shoes.
It's nice to worry about just one character and not worry about everything.
Yep.
Or your party completely derailing everything that you play.
You know what? That's fine. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way it goes. Also, getting back into the voice, I think we did it a little bit before when I was practicing. It's like putting on a glove. Right back, fits right back in. Mm-hmm.
Putting on an alien-handed glove.
Yeah, 3-fingered glove.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's good to be back, you two. It's good to be back. I loved our Fallout game. I loved playing in that game, and Alex, the way that you ran at the story, chef kiss.
Thank you.
But it's good to be back here in Star Wars. Just like you said, Jamie, there's just something about it, right? There's just something about it. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about being back here in this universe?
I mean, I've been itching to play since all the Star Wars stuff came out, and Boba Fett was kind of a letdown in some aspects, but overall, I enjoyed the story, and it made me want to play this game more because I want Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to steal more of our ideas like they stole the egg one from Mandalorian. Even though I'm sure that was written 2 years before our game ever came out.
For sure. And we may have already talked about this on the show, but the way that our jaws dropped when Mando said, "This is the way."
Yeah.
After we had gone over the ship, naming our ship the way before the release of those episodes. Oh my God, jaw to the floor.
Yeah, how do they know?
We were part of the collective mind think for a minute there.
Mm-hmm. Carl Jung would point at this, and it'd be like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Carl Jung would be like, "This is it, see?"
Yeah. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get back in to this galaxy far, far away. What do you say?
I say punch it.
Nice.
I love it. Yes. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 44, Fit the Pattern. Two crews collide. Elo, Beegax, and the crew of the Way have met up with Chai and the Horizon Boys, a group of bedraggled pirates working for the Rhodian diplomat, Yomance Vale. Claiming to be on a diplomatic mission, Yomance is cautious of sharing the details about their presence on the planet, but conveys the importance of keeping their findings secret from the Empire. The crew of the Way agree to help solve the mysteries of a ruined temple belonging to the Rakata, an extinct but feared race of Force-adept conquerors. After spending their first night on the planet Lehon, also known as Rakata Prime, Beegax and Elo experienced another shared dream. In this strange shared experience, Chai was threatened, and upon waking, Beegax and Elo raced to the rescue, only to find him safe and unmolested. Now, as the dawn breaks on this ancient world at the edge of the known galaxy, our fearless fringers delve into the past to uncover mysteries which should perhaps stay lost to time.
Yeah, the rest of the crew seems to like rise. You all have a hearty meal of rations and you get ready to go into this temple. Beegax, Elo, your crew, Verse and Creed, and Obram, as well as all of the Horizon boys, plus our Rhodian diplomat as well. They're sort of like all coming together, Yomads. Everyone kind of like looks to Beegax and to Chai Chai as you come back into the entrance of this place with this like crackling energy field, and they're just kind of like expectantly waiting to see what you can do.
What can we do?
Okay, I have my deck and I pull it out. What am I hooking up to for this?
Well, we haven't been able to find anything on this side of the entrance, but I think if we can get access to that panel over there, he points to something on the other side of the energy field. We might be able to do something. This is all incredibly ancient technology, though, so who knows if anything will work.
Beegax, would you be able to work remotely if we got you plugged in on the other side?
As long as the cord is long enough and doesn't touch the ground, I think it could work.
I'm wondering if we can send Barney over there to plug you in.
Yeah, if we have a cord long enough to reach over there.
Do you have an extension cord?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Chai Chai like makes a cord just by like stripping something up out of the ship and just like wiring it together long enough until it can reach out across that room, and he hands it to you, Elo. He says, here you go.
Elo's going to activate Barney, who flutters in front of them and is going to say, Barney, Beegax requires your assistance. And Barney's going to immediately pull out their paddles, their electric paddles, and head over to Beegax.
Yeah. No, not that.
Does a little nod at Elo and holds out its paddles to receive the cord.
All right, and they'll pass it over and sort of point over to the panel which they need to plug into.
Barney just sort of like hovers and flies over this thing, and then like takes a little clamp and just like sticks in something into an input into this panel somewhere, and then like tugs the cord a little, boink boink, to indicate that it is in fact attached.
All right, good job, Elo and Barney. Thank you. And then I turn on the deck and try to see if I can slice it into the ancient protocols.
Yeah. So, you get a readout that is crazy. It's something that you've just not seen before. It's definitely like an alien technology, and it is old. So, give me a hard computers check.
Oh, I lost the green one. No, don't, doesn't count. Don't look at it. I'll wash.
Oh.
You know what? No, it's not, because I'm gonna use Natural Programmer. Once per session, may reroll any one computer or astrogation check.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's much better. 3 success and 1 threat.
We'll say the threat is it generates a lot of heat on your deck.
Oh.
Like, it's not damaging it, but that it's like hitting the red, and it's like needs to cool off, but the energy field dissipates from the floor and the walls. What does that look like? What does Beegax see when he's putting that together?
Oh man, it's like you mentioned, it's like the interface is old and kind of like the resolution's really weird, so it's in like almost like a corner, and he's like, I can't really see what this is. I think I can, is that like a, okay, it's like, that's a Clevin, I guess. I don't know, I'm not really sure. Okay. And he hits run or whatever the equivalent is. And the electricity just shuts off. And he'll look up first. He'll wait like 2 seconds and then he'll motion. Okay, go, go, go. Everybody get across.
Everybody runs. Obram goes as fast as he can. Creed just grabs him and like puts him on his back.
Yeah, Elo runs and grabs Barney, slaps him on their shoulder, and says, "Great job, buddy."
It whirs and clicks in binary. So thankful for your approval.
Ah.
Yeah, Beegax finishes up the code and still has the deck in his hand as he's running across, and he's like picking up the cord because now it's like getting loose. He's like, oh, there's a lot of slack. He's like running across with the deck. Gets across.
Yeah, everyone makes it across safely and sound. It seems like that energy field has been shut off, and yeah, aside from your deck really using up a lot of energy. Everything seems to be okay. Absolutely fascinating that these security systems have lasted this long with no one to maintain them. And everyone seems pretty impressed. Chai is like, we had been here a couple of days. We haven't been able to get this far. This is the first real time that we're like making any progress, Beegax. I knew you could do it. I knew we could do it, everyone.
I mean, it's not without some issues. And I'm gonna point to the deck, and there's like an onboard heat measurement system, like on the pod racers when your engines are too hot. And it's got like a beep beep boop, boop, boop. Yeah, it's like a little warning. Like, I could probably only do that one more time.
I've got a really good feeling about this.
He looks at Lo. Shrugs. Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
You all continue on into this temple, and it goes down. It is a continuous decline with several like switchbacks that lead you further down into it, like almost at an angle, basically. The temple seems dimly lit by old technology lights that seem to come on as you like walk forward through this area. Along these corridors are like carvings and busts of Rakata warriors holding various weapons and looking stern, looking angrily down at you from these carvings. And there's all kinds of like artistic carvings along the walls, sort of like up and around like the areas of these statues, of these busts that are carved. And you travel for what seems like a while. You come to a second room that looks empty. It's big, it's wide, and it has these elaborate pillars, again, of just like Rakata standing there in these poses that sort of like reach from the floor to the ceiling. And there is a door on the other end of this room that all of you can see. Also in the room, they look like droids, but they are some kind of like arachnid kind of droids almost, with several like long spindly legs that poke out from a center mass of them, and they have like sort of a big basin on their back, some kind of like claw or grabber or something coming out from the bottom, and also on the bottom of them just like a big tank that looks like it has some kind of something dark inside of it that you are not able to discern from this distance. And they all seem to be inactive, like they're kind of like slumped along the ground.
Okay, Beegax slowly puts the deck like into the sleep position, puts it on his back in the holster, and walks up to one of the mechanized things that's just stationary. I want to get a good look at it, like at the container underneath that has some sort of liquid in it. shine some light on it, see what it looks like, what color it is.
You get right up close to it.
Pretty close, as close as I can without actually touching it.
Okay.
Is there some sort of opening or slot underneath them or on top of them?
Yeah, there is. There looks like a pretty sizable hole in the top that leads down into a bulbous thing down on the bottom of them. So there do seem to be some kind of old remains in these ones that you're looking in.
I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna be like, let me see what's on here, and just kind of rip one open. If you said there's remains inside.
Yeah, it's sort of like maybe like a bone or something is sticking up out of the top of it.
That's gross. Hello. There's like bones in this thing. Can you figure out what kind of bones these are? Like big animal, small animal?
Yeah, Ella will walk over watching their step on the stones and is going to do a scan of the bones to see if they can place what it might be.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's not a full scan or it's not a full skeleton or anything like that. So this is going to be a daunting medical roll.
Ooh. Don't get a lot of them around these parts.
And this is just to identify from what it is, I'm guessing, right? Is there anything additional that you want to know?
No, just identification.
Okay. Like what kind of species it is. Got it.
I got 1 success, but 5 threats.
Oh.
That's a lot of threats.
Oh, what could these threats be? I know what it is.
Oh boy.
You reach in, you do a scan, and well, tell me how you go about doing this.
When Ella's doing any sort of like categorization scanning, whether it be for wounds or for checking out fauna or really anything where they're accessing like their knowledge base, you sort of see this like green scanned screen go over whatever it is that they're scanning. Almost like what those bots do in WALL-E. What Eva does when she's looking for like plants. So you see the actual scan happen going over this droid and the bones, like the whole system together. And then internally you'd probably see like pictures flickering through Elo's visual field trying to classify whatever this might be. And then if and when they get something, it would be like confirmed. This species.
It flips through all of these things and it comes up with like a couple of stuff. Firstly, it comes up as like a humanoid species, so like bipedal, that kind of thing. Like most of the crew that's with you right now. But when it tries to get to like an actual species, it's like unidentified. Like it doesn't. Whoa. It's not able to figure out what the exact species is. And with your thorough medical examination, it looks like this like arachnoid thing that's just laying here that's got these bones in it. It's got these components that sort of mulch or take organic material, and then it pours into the thing at the bottom, the like big orb at the bottom. And as you are scanning and looking at this, Obram wanders over and he like steps up to it and he's like, "My goodness, the technology of this is so fascinating." And he reaches his hand in to grab the bone, and the mechanism begins to whir and spin up and turn on as this thing suddenly becomes active. And I need you to make me a hard agility check.
You mean coordination?
Coordination, thank you.
2 successes, 1 threat.
Okay.
Man. I mean, I'm not hating the successes, but them threats are sure tacking on.
Yeah.
You managed to stop Obram from getting his hand stuck into this basically an enormous blender and pull him away from it. However, you do suffer a strain in doing so.
Okay. I mean, that's worth it.
Hello, I was looking at that. And it's just like...
Oh my god, Obram.
I understand, Obram, but you need to be careful. Look, and is going to point out the fact that he was about to get his frickin' arm blended up.
Think of what we could have learned from that, though.
We would have learned that you would be one arm down.
It's worth it. It's worth it!
Okay, Obram, calm the fuck down, Obram. Jeez.
Don't like this.
He's getting a little, mad scientist-y.
Yeah.
Verse is starting to sweat, too. You can see it visibly. And she's like, we should not be here. We should not be going any further. This is not a good plan.
Anything else you'd like to add? Constructive? Hopefully?
Yeah, how's it feel like to get shot? You want that to happen again?
Oh, I love it. Feels great. I love it when my flesh cauterizes and I start to smell like grilled kebab.
This is insane.
I'm just gonna growl. Just gonna growl under my breath and say all these obscenities and huddies. I'm gonna go up to the door. That's at the end of this place.
Everyone is sort of making their way across this floor, and the door opens, Beegax, when you come to it. It slides open, and in front of you is a very long corridor, a very long hallway. However, unlike a lot of the material here that's a lot of stone mixed with technology in this temple, this seems to be entirely transparent. And you can see that the this corridor is leading far across somewhere into another dimly lit space, many almost extreme distance away from you. And this hallway is completely submerged under the water. In the transparency, you can see the murky depths of this planet. It continues to slant down in a decline, but it grants a view of being underneath the seas of this land. There's very, very little light here, indicating that this is probably far from the surface of the water. But these bioluminescent creatures float about and swim around, casting dim light and strange shadows across the floor of this corridor. And occasionally something swims by that's near enough to see its blurry silhouette in the murky depths, but not close enough to make out much detail other than its enormous size.
Ah, this is more than I thought we'd see today. As it continues walking deeper down into the hallway, surrounded by the fish, the shadows of fish, I should say.
Obram is almost at your heels, walking as fast as he can, just eyes open wide as you descend further through the depths of these underwater things. Yeah, as creatures swim around you, and the life of the seas of here just sort of float around this transparent material.
I'm gonna Beegax will talk to Creed. Hey, and he'll point to Obram, who's right behind him. Watch him.
I'm watching.
Look at Obram, who's right there behind me. Just try to stay calm, old man.
What do I get for watching him?
What do you want?
What do you got?
I don't...
Usually LO gives me a prize or some stickers or something, so...
I shoot a glance at LO. Oh, really?
Some of us need motivation.
Okay, well, I wasn't informed that our duties would start to be rewarded with secondary currencies here, okay? Keep an eye on Obram, and I'll get you the next time we're in somewhere that has one of these. I'll buy you some of those cup ramen places that I like.
What about right now?
Right now?
What are you giving me now?
I don't have anything on me per se. How about I teach you how to fly the ship?
I can't do that right now, though.
Okay. Creed, I'm gonna level with you. I don't have much. And I just reach into my pocket and grab I'm gonna just say that.
I want your flower. The flower Elo gave you. I want it.
I look at Elo.
Elo shrugs. It's all on you, bud.
Yeah, okay. You can have the flower. And I realize like I still have it in my lapel, like in the breast pocket. Okay. I didn't realize these kind of things meant a lot to you. I mean, obviously Elo gave it to me. But here. And I put it in his. I'm assuming he has like this weird kind of the vest of that really rough material, and I just shove it in between some of the fabric, and I pat him.
Okay, good. This is just a down payment, though. I'll watch Oprah.
Okay. As he's walking away, Beegax is gonna look at Elo and like get close to them. Since when did he start acting like this?
I may have been spoiling him a bit.
Yeah, I'd say. He's gonna ask for pay pretty soon, like more pay.
I don't know that money is necessarily something that Creed is after. He just likes to feel appreciated.
Well, he's gonna figure out that, like, with credits you can buy more flowers and food and junk. It's just a matter of time before he puts it together.
Perhaps, but for now, stickers seem to be doing the trick.
Alright, next time we're in somewhere that has a market, I gotta pick up some of these stickers.
Gold stars.
Yeah.
He likes little Gran. Like little puffy Gran stickers.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you make your way through this long hallway. It takes some time, but eventually you come to a room that looks like it has some kind of lift. As you pass through into another section of this temple, like the lighting changes as you move into something solid underneath the ocean here, and leave the underwater corridor behind. And yeah, you come to this area that's got some kind of lift, or at least that's what it seems. It seems to be hovering in place over a large shaft, and that's really it.
That's pretty suspect.
Yeah.
I will put one foot on quickly, like tap it with a foot quickly. Like,
You tap it, and it doesn't really move at all, but it doesn't like fall or do anything. It feels much like a lift that you would normally use.
Alright, Beegax steps onto it quickly, like,
Nothing happens though.
Okay, everybody, let's get on, please, everybody.
Hopping on.
Everyone gets on, stands around. I don't think anything's happening.
Yeah, you're right. I look at Chai. Find, is there a panel around here?
Well, I'm looking. I try to look. You hear, and he takes a look around, slides his little furry hands along the walls and stuff like that. As he does so, Yomance speaks up and is like, "It is known that the Rikata use their technology in coordination with their powers from the Force."
Yeah, that would be unfortunate if that were the case. Maybe we just say a word or something. Anybody speak ancient Rikadan?
Let me check. He like flips through his book. Obram's flipping through his book. No, nothing useful. Nothing about lifts or anything.
Do they have any word for up and down?
Let me see. Roll me the destiny die.
One light side.
Oh, yes, here. Yes, I can try and speak it. Everyone get on. He says the word, some word in an alien language. It's one of the, like, obviously you don't understand. Even LO with your translation, like, nothing comes up. And sure enough, lights begin to, like, spiral around this lift and along the walls, and the lift descends down further into darkness. And you take a ride, and Obram is like, "Oh, you were right. How did you know that?"
I don't know, call it a hunch. I mean, these guys so far seem pretty high and mighty. I don't think they'd have buttons for things like this. It would be beneath them, you know?
Wow, Beegax, I didn't know you knew so much about this kind of stuff.
Nah, I think I picked it up from traveling with my crew here.
I'm glad that Beegax is looking so, like, proficient to Chai in this encounter.
Yeah.
Like, you're kicking ass right now.
It Imagine him singing in the beginning when I'm shooting into a crowd. Like
The descent begins to stop, and the lift comes all the way down. You're able to step off. You find yourself into another room, this time with an enormous Rakata face carved into this room. It's huge. It's about as big as the statue that you saw outside, only it's just the head of it, and it looks on with its empty gaze. A small console sort of sits in front of this statue, and everyone kind of like looks at Elo and Beegax, especially their crew.
Beegax looks at Elo, and then behind and sees everyone looking at him. Oh, I guess we're up.
I suppose so. And then sort of whispers down to Beegax, what are we supposed to do?
He pulls out the deck. Just help me out if I need you to like type some keys or give me some quick maths or something, yeah?
Elo gives a thumbs up.
Okay, also, if something jumps out, and while I'm working, shoot him.
Roger that.
Alright, I believe we walk up, and I go to the console. I see if there's anywhere to plug in, or if it's something where I have to just use that device.
There doesn't seem to be anywhere to plug a deck in.
Okay. Puts the deck away. It's gonna make it a little more difficult. Looks at the console. Is there like a start button? What is it? Is the layout familiar to me at all? Like, is it?
Not at all.
Cool. I'm going to look for the largest button, if there are buttons, and then push it.
Immediately the console comes to life. Blinking lights turn on, and in front of you, a hologram of a Rakatan shows up. It like glitches on, and then as the machine begins to run again, it comes fully on and addresses you. It runs through a bunch of languages. Like, there's a bunch of alien babble, and then you hear
Greetings.
in Basic.
Okay, here we go.
Basic.
Oh, whoa.
Language selected.
I back up. I look at Elo. Oh, that's a little unsettling.
This terminal has not been accessed for some time. I am an AI put inside this console to answer any questions according to my programming.
What kind of questions should we ask it?
Elo is going to look back towards our Rhodian friend and sort of gesture. They come up and ask whatever it is that they need to know.
He steps forward, Yomance. We are looking for whatever is in this temple, whatever is being protected here, either knowledge or items of the Infinite Empire.
I am programmed with a limited field of knowledge and must restrict access only to those that fit my allowed pattern.
What would be your allowed pattern? Is that information you can divulge?
Error. Data corrupted. I can't say. I will try to bring forward the behavior that you need to proceed through my evaluation.
Evaluation?
Okay, sounds good.
And it looks at you, and so the console like does a quick scan of you. Lights come out, scans all three of you.
According to my initial scan, your behavior will require modification to access. You must be made to match the parameters, which I have been supplied.
Can I see the parameters before this is done?
Error. Records are corrupted. I cannot show you the parameters. You simply have to match the pattern before you can access the information that I have.
I'm gonna look at the console on the outside, like kind of go around it, see if there's a port anywhere, any type of hole or anything.
Beegax wants to bypass this so bad.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it. He does not want to do this.
I'm gonna flip a dark side point. Unfortunately, no. There's nowhere to plug in here.
Alright. He looks at Elo and I forget the gentleman's name.
Yomance.
He kind of waves him in. Come here. Alright, this thing, it sounds like it's got some sort of ability to alter behavior. So there's probably some sort of mental adjustment that might be made here, or even worse, adjusting yourself on a molecular level, I think. Because it needs us to match something. So, Elo, I think you're out automatically. So you're safe. And then he looks at Yomans. But an organic might have to be the one to be given access to this information, therefore be changed or altered to match. And he looks back when he says that at the console.
So what are you saying? We should be prepared to be changed forever, physically?
I wouldn't say we. It should be, someone.
And you are volunteering, or...?
That's rich.
This isn't our quest. You brought us here for our assistance, so it should probably be somebody you've hired or that this is their ultimate goal. Otherwise, we can just turn around.
Yeah, I agree with Ella 100% here. They're correct. And I think, if I remember correctly, you had the highest stake in this, Mr. Senator.
I understand you don't have the commitment to go all the way with this. That is not a judgment. Am I reading that correctly?
Well, I mean, look. If my gut were telling me something else, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I already would have signed up. But something inside me is telling me that this thing is telling us we need to match something. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't see any wardrobes around here, so it's not talking about clothes.
This is too important to leave unsolved, unanswered.
You hear a voice, a little voice from in the back of the room, and you hear, "I'll do it. I'll do the evaluation." And stepping forth from behind some of the Horizon boys, Chai steps up, sort of like rubbing his little chadra fan hands.
I think Beegax has that moment of the Lord of the Rings when they're at the meeting and Frodo goes, "I'll do it. I'll take the ring." And he like closes his eyes. Beegax does the same thing. He just goes, Griff. And he'll look at Chai. No, Chai. Come on, man. This thing could mess you up, potentially. And he looks at Yomance.
Maybe, but like your man said, this is too important. This has to happen. We have to do this. Somebody has to do it. Might as well be me.
You're talking just... Your eyes are bigger than your head at this point, Chai. Come on. Can't be serious. And he'll look at Yomance again. I think it's gotta be you. There's no way we're putting myself or my friend's life on the line here for something you're working so hard to get done. We got you here. You finish it.
Chai sort of like steps in between you and Yomance, and he says, "Beegax, listen to me. Yomance he needs to be around. He's got other things to do, and if this is successful, he needs to bring back whatever information or thing we find. Yomance can't be at risk. It has to be me. If something happens, that's okay. I'm okay with that."
And he grumbles and gets real close to Chai's face. I'm not okay with it, Chai. You know how Griff and hard I worked to get here. We worked to get here. How many furballs I had to walk over in the street. How many Imperial troops I've had to dodge and dip and dive from. How many insane things Elo and I had to see and go through to get here to find you. And then you're just gonna throw yourself away potentially because you think that this senator, this political scum, is gonna do some change here.
Chai, like, he looks at you, he looks right into your eyes. I appreciate everything that you've done to try and look for me, Beegax. You know, when you left me on Tabro Station, I was devastated. I could sleep, I could eat, I could do anything. It took everything just to get on board the ship leaving the station so I could escape. I know the intent of what you did. You didn't mean any harm by it, and you thought that that's what was best for me, but that's not what I needed, Beegax. What I needed was you. And so right now, this is what I need to do. I need this for me.
Beegax, unclenches his fists, and his muscles kind of relax a little, and he steps down.
I don't like thinking about what I had to do there. I think mainly because normally when I do things, I don't think of their consequences.
And he looks to Elo.
And I'm sure there's plenty of data and things recorded to prove that.
And Elo's gonna look to whoever is closest to them and just say, "Oh, you have no idea."
Elo's got the receipts.
And Beegax turns back, I would think facing Yomance and Chai.
Normally when I do things that I don't think about the consequences, I don't tend to think about the people that are left behind. But with you, I thought about it every day. Every morning I would wake up, every night I'd go to bed. I'd remember the face of one of my best friends, seemingly just left in question.
And he'll look to Yomance.
If this thing messes him up in any way, you better hope you finish what you set to accomplish with this data. Because if not, I'm gonna be on you like the Imperials are on all those rebels out there.
He looks at you with his big Rhodian eyes and just nods in understanding.
Your friend, Chai. He has both courage and hope. Two things that are in short supply in the galaxy these days.
Yeah. He's also got quick hands.
The quickest.
Well, I mean, not as fast as mine, but yeah, I'll give you a quick.
Okay, I really don't need you bragging right now, okay?
Just hurry up and get it done before I push you out of the way.
Chai fiddles with his little fingers for a minute, and then he runs up and hugs Beegax. It doesn't matter. You'll always be my friend, Beegax.
Ah, Chai. Not in front of your, rugged-looking crew, please.
And he'll hug him back.
Come on. And I definitely can't cry in front of Elo. I'm supposed to be in charge, I think.
You see the captain of the Horizon Boys wipe tears away from his eyes.
Elo's just like holding up their hand like a camera. "Oh, I'm getting all of this."
Ah, Griff.
And Chai steps up to the console, places his little furry hands on it. He just about reaches it. Just his head just about goes over it, and he's looking up into this big hologram. He turns back around one last time and he says, "If anything does happen to me, make sure that whatever I turn into or whatever I am, that I make it back to Malastair, okay?"
Beegax nods.
No problem.
And then he turns to answer these questions.
Would you like to begin the evaluation?
"I'm ready." And the AI goes,
Hypothetical. You and your companion are captured by enemies and separated. If you offer no information and both of you remain silent, you will each be sentenced to 1 year in prison. However, if you call your companion a traitor and deny their companionship, they will serve 5 years, while you will serve none. Your companion is offered the same deal. However, if you both accuse the other, you both will serve 2 years in prison. What do you do?
and Chai is standing there waiting to be altered on a molecular level, wincing with his eyes closed. He opens one, opens the other, looks back at the two of you, I don't feel any different. Do I look any different? Maybe this is just an oral evaluation. Like some kind of questionnaire?
Yeah, Beegax kind of shouts back, "Oh, maybe I was wrong."
He's looking at the two of you and he's like, what answer should I give?
You know, Obram said these guys were, tyrants.
It's true. They revere power and the notion that the strong will subjugate the weak.
Go with the one where you get 0 years.
So now you want to be involved.
Look, I made a mistake, alright? It sounded like it was gonna stretch our heads and give us eyeballs or something on the side of our heads. I wasn't too sure.
It is understood. It is the limit of your character.
He kind of thinks about it. Looks at Elo.
Was that an insult? I'm not too sure what he meant by that.
I believe it was.
Okay, good.
Chai turns to the console. You can see he looks troubled by the answer, but he says, I would turn on my companion to try and serve the least amount of sentence.
That is the correct answer. The temperament of a companion is unreliable at best. You have wisely traded the threat of 1 year or 5 years in prison for none or 2. Hypothetical. You are at war with another nation. Deciphering an intercepted code, you learn 2 things about your enemy. That the enemy will attack your city in 5 days. But you learn of a weakness in their forces that will reveal itself in 10 days. What is the most efficient course of action? Do you save your people, or abandon them for the sake of war? Which victory and which failure do you accept?
Chai once again looks to the group, and you can see he's a little distressed. What should I say?
Beegax has flashbacks of the code when he intercepted the code, working for the ISB.
You sacrifice your people, and you destroy them in one swoop. You wait 10 days.
And you would make these calculations as well?
Based on the civilization's history, it does seem like the correct course.
He turns again to the console and says, I would let the attack happen. Sacrifice my people to learn the enemy's weakness.
That is correct. That is the most efficient course of action. Hypothetical. The last. Remove the ongoing war from the previous example. Consider your enemies to be weak and remote. With no external threat, your empire stagnates. Your people become complacent and begin to question you. You experience the same scenario as before. You discover an impending attack, but also a weakness that will come after. However, this comes from within your own nation or planet. From within your own people. How do you react?
Chai seems troubled by this, and turns around to look at the two of you again.
They are tyrants, and to them, the position is worth more than the people, including their own allies. I would guess the 10 days again, but I could be wrong with this one. It's very difficult to put myself in the mind of a tyrant.
Agreed. Obram, do you have any thoughts on the matter? My only hesitation is, what is a tyrant without people to tyrannize over?
That is very astute, Hello. And forgive me, not something I would expect from a medical droid. I guess that shows my own ignorance, but I would agree. That is exactly the answer this pattern is looking for.
Chai nods his head and gives that answer.
That is correct. It makes the most strategic sense. War and conflict grant many opportunities. You have fit the pattern that I have been programmed with. I can answer any questions that are within my scope of knowledge.
Chai steps away from the console, rubbing his hands. Really glad that's over. All yours, Yomont. And Yomont turns again to the two of you and says,
It seems we could not have done this without your insight. Apologies if I offended you.
Nah, I'm used to it. Not a big deal.
Yomans addresses the hologram at the console.
What is the purpose of this temple? What is it that it is keeping safe?
Allow me to show you.
And suddenly the room begins to shake violently. Something comes down from the ceiling of it, from the center, like a long, sort of cylindrical thing. It has some kind of refractor in it. It's hard to tell what material it is made of, but from the mouth of this enormous statue in front of you, there is a beam of light that just explodes out, going up over the top of the heads of Elo and Beegax and hitting this thing that has come out of the center of the room. Dust and rock begins to fall from the ceiling. Everyone kind of dives for cover or just trying to stabilize themselves. This console comes on with a display, and you can see now the planet Lehon, at least the surface, somewhere up above the water and onto the land. This statue that is atop the temple is now beaming from its mouth a beam of light that is pointing far out into the distance across the jungle and across the waters of this land, somewhere off into the distance. And on the console, a point away from what you think is your location blinks.
Beegax takes note of it as best he can. He tries to memorize how far it is from where the statue is and in relation to the cardinal directions.
It looks quite some distance, not one that you could travel by foot in days. It is somewhere maybe on the other side of the planet.
I asked, I don't know if I can ask, but I'll ask the AI, wow, what is it?
Error, record corrupted.
Figures.
Looks like, you gotta go there. Looks far.
After this, are you still willing to help us?
Beegax looks to Elo first and wants to see where they lie currently.
Well, I suppose that depends if our character is a problem.
Perhaps there is a chance for you to show your true character as we continue.
Ella will nod to Beegax.
Chai comes up and just tugs on Beegax's sleeve a little bit. You're coming with us, right?
Yeah, we'll help you guys out, of course. Obviously, you guys would be lost without me. And he kind of smiles as he says this.
The rest of you are sort of standing around in this room with this enormous beam of light just shooting up, and we follow that up through the top of this temple, up through the waters of Lehon, through the seas, crashing out into the sky at the height of this statue, whose beam now is just shooting out into the atmosphere somewhere beyond where we can see. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It's easy, free, and helps other people learn about the show. And we love reading your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram, or come chat with us on our official Discord server. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose information and credits are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work, and tell them how much you like their music in our show. The Star Wars role-playing system is published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
What's again the word I'm looking for? Fuck. It's so annoying, you guys.
Was it fuck?
No.
Listen here, baby. Give Jamie back her words.
I want my brain back.